Hey guys, what's going on? So we're back in the driveway once again, and today we're not going to be working on the Mazda, but we're actually going to be working on this thing over here. This is a 2011 Hyundai Santa Fe. It is experiencing some oil leakage. Basically the leak was coming out from in between the engine and the trans, so I'm pretty sure that's a rear main seal. But anyways, thankfully there was a couple people on YouTube actually that had a video on the same kind of leak process and said that it was a oil sending unit, which is underneath the intake manifold, so you have to do quite a bit of work to get it off. But one thing I didn't notice was anyone had a video on how to actually get it off, replace it on YouTube. It said that it was a long job and that's about it. So what we're going to go ahead and do is do the job on camera for you. So stick around and check it out. If you got the same issue, this will help you out a lot. We'll see you in a little bit. Alright, here we go. So, sorry if you get a little bit of feedback from the wind, but it's a bit windy out here today. I'm going to try to do my best. So over here, we're going to go ahead and disconnect the battery first. Basically, the sending unit for the oil is inside the intake manifold. So we have to get all of the stuff off the top of the motor, take it off, take some of the runners out, and then we're going to be ready to find that switch and replace it actually. So I have the part on the way now. My dad's actually bringing it. I'm going to go ahead and start on this, and hopefully we get this all taken apart by the time he gets here, and go. First thing you're going to have to do is take off this air duct going into the air intake. There's going to be 3 Phillips head screws that are plastic clips. Unbolt both the negative and the positive terminals for the battery. Next you want to go ahead and yank off the engine cover, and then we're going to move over to the back of the engine and take off one of the first breather hoses that connects to our air box. Now go ahead and unplug your MAF sensor. Pull the little piece that's holding that on there, just kind of yanked on it and it came out. I just kind of fished it through so it was out of the way as well. Now I'm going ahead and taking off the other breather hose that is connected to the air box. And now you'll see I'll grab that whole thing and kind of move it off to the side. And the other one is hooked up to either like the brake booster or something like that on the firewall. And same thing here, just taking off more of the air lines that I find as I go around the engine, just anything that's kind of in my way of getting the top of the engine off. This one is actually the breather for the front valve cover. And then now I'm going ahead and taking off the throttle body coupler that holds or connects the throttle body to the air box, and that thing pops right off. Now I'm going to go ahead and loosen up the 2 top bolts on the top of kind of like the intake manifold with the big plastic thing on the top. Now this is the 2 bolts for the wiring harness. You can see that wiring harness run across the top of the engine right here. And those are just the 2 bolts that are holding that in. Next I'm removing a couple more of the little clips holding in the wire loom now on the right side of the motor. You can't really see what I'm doing here. I'm just pushing in the 2 plastic pieces that I could then yank the wire out from its holding position. You see that there. And now I'm going to go ahead and start disconnecting a couple things. Any of the wires on the right top end of the motor is really what I'm kind of focusing on at the moment. You see me just kind of rip these set of wires out in just a second. No damage to the wiring harness. Next I think I'm unplugging the injectors. I think when I did those injectors I also did the spark plugs. So here's just a slew of different plugs on the top left side of the motor. You also see those vacuum lines. Those also have to be kind of peeled off and just make sure that nothing's being held on when you pull the intake manifold off. Just moving down to the lower side of the left. Now I'm removing the 10mm bolts. There's a couple of these. These are kind of holding on a couple brackets that hold all of the different plugs in place. So I just removed the 10mm bolts, so then you're able to actually get the wires out of the way. Next we're going to be taking off the throttle body. There's 3 bolts holding the throttle body on, 2 plugs at the bottom of it. I don't think I have a video of me taking the plugs out, but make sure you do that. And then there's going to be one bolt at the bottom of the throttle body holding the whole assembly on. It's, I believe, a 12 millimeter. So there's 10 mils for the 3 bolts holding kind of like the face plate of the throttle body on, and then one 12 millimeter at the bottom. So now you're going to have another hose you're going to take off right here that connects to the intake manifold. There's going to be a 10 millimeter bolt holding a hose onto the back of the intake manifold as well. Let's go ahead and remove that. And now it should come off. Next thing is going to be the fuel rail for the injectors. Make sure you purge your system beforehand so you don't spray fluid all over yourself. There's just 2 bolts to do that, and it's pressurized, so watch out. Now we're going to be doing the injector bolts. There's 2 for each side of the rail. There's also going to be 1 bolt. There's actually 5 bolts holding on the fuel rail. There's one that's closest to the part that we just took off. I just didn't get a video of it. Next up is going to be the plastic piece that you see in the middle of the engine right there. There's going to be, I believe, 6 Allens and 2 10 or 12 millimeter bolts holding this thing on. Can we see your new part dance? Let's see it. Do a little jiggle. Damn, son! So now we're just pulling out the oil sending switch from the block. You can see the oil pulled up around in that kind of, or inside that area, and that's where it kind of leaks out the side and looks like a rear main seal. You'll know this plug's bad because there'll be oil inside the plug actually when you take it off. You can kind of see it's just coated in it while it's in my hand. Now we're putting the new one in. Right here we're giving the plug a little wipe, reinstalling it. Now it's time to put the plastic runners back onto the block. Reinstalling the injectors here. Connecting the fuel rail to the fuel line. Buttoning up a few bolts before putting on the big plastic intake manifold. Here you're going to reconnect a, I believe, 12 millimeter bolt to secure the intake manifold on the left rear side of the engine. Start reconnecting the 3 bolts that hold on the intake manifold. Next is going to be the throttle body. There's going to be those 3 10 millimeter bolts, and then the 1 12 millimeter bolt at the bottom holding the whole assembly onto the intake manifold. So pretty much now what you're going to be left doing is putting back all the wires, putting back the airbox in the car, reconnecting the battery and starting it up. I'll go ahead and keep videoing the rest of me doing it. It's going to be a little bit faster just because it's pointless to sit here and watch me plug every single wire back in. Each plug has its own type of friend. They all only go to one thing, so don't worry about it. This is stupid because I'm burping all over myself.